I want to talk to you a little bit about Purslane. It's this plant right here. Purslane, I would have to say, is probably my favorite wild edible plant. It is it's one of the first ones I learned about, but it's so just packed full of nutrition. I know I say that about a lot of things, but this really is one of the absolute superfoods. This is it right here. And let me just start by talking about the nutrition. I'll pick a little piece here so you can take a look at it. But it's full of vitamins, very, very high in vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, all the B complex vitamins, I believe, beta carotene. It is full of all kinds of minerals, iron, calcium, magnesium, potassium, manganese, zinc, phosphorus, copper, and there's stuff in there that I can't even tell you, I don't even know. But one of the big things is the omega-3s. This is actually the highest in omega-3 fatty acids of any leafy green vegetable that is known. And it's even higher than a lot of fish in omega-3s, which really surprises some people. But it's super full of antioxidants as well. I could go on and on. I don't know it all. There's plenty of sources online that you can find more information. It's full of dietary fiber. It actually it has pectin in it, which is known to lower cholesterol. It's been used to treat osteoporosis and psoriasis. Just the benefits are just ongoing with this plant. I really, really, really like the taste of it. Now, I have a friend who says, he would like it if it weren't so slimy. And I never even thought of it as slimy until he said that. And I guess now that he said that, I can sort of see that a little bit. It kind of reminds you of okra a little bit. If you've had okra, it does have a bit of a slimy taste to it, I guess. But not real bad, I don't think. But anyway, I just think it's wonderful. I really, really love it. I pick it like this and just eat it. Again, like a lot of them, I put them in salad. I much prefer it raw. You can steam it. Now the stems, sometimes when it gets bigger, the stems get pretty thick. And you can eat the stems. You can eat any part of the plant that's above the ground, although the root is not edible. But some people take the stems because when they get this thick, they get kind of tough. But you can take them and pickle them. And we tried that once, and to be honest, weren't really that crazy about it. But it may just be something we did in the process. I don't really know. But just point out some identification factors to you. These have a really, really thick succulent leaves. It's considered a succulent plant, which means it retains a lot of water, which means it's very, very drought resistant. It can almost completely wither up. It can grow through the cracks in a sidewalk or in pavement, and then on a hot week or a little drought where you get no rain, it'll just kind of wither up and lay down. But then as soon as you get some rain, it'll perk right back up. It's an amazingly resilient plant. But like I said, the leaves are very, very, very thick, succulent. They're kind of spatula shaped. The stems are usually a blend of green and reddish or pinkish. See, some like this one here is almost completely red, although it is green on the underside a little bit. Very red on the top side. And they do get these little yellow flowers when they start to mature. When you break them off and squeeze, they do exude a little bit of a translucent, kind of a slimy, I don't know if it's sap or the liquid on the inside. And that sort of mucilaginous quality makes this a good plant to throw into soup and to thicken soups. It'll actually sort of thicken them up a little bit. Okay, I seeded some purslane in our tomato bed. Got my lamb's quarters, got some peppers, okra, some squash in here, or cucumbers. And it did really well at first. It took off and got huge. This is the size of the stem. Problem is, it got just annihilated by some kind of little worm or bug or something. In fact, there's a little tiny worm on the bottom of that leaf right there. These little green worms get inside the leaves, actually, and they do this to the leaves. If you see a leaf that looks like it has a maze-like tunnel going through it or something like that, you might want to discard that one. There could be a worm inside of it. Okay, here's a good example. I've got some purslane coming up, and this is my little wild edibles bed. I've got some wood sorrel and some other things in here too. You see this leaf? Looks like a little maze. There's actually a little worm inside of there. You can see this one too. That leaf right there has a worm inside of it. So does that one. These others are good. So what I better do, get rid of the bad leaves and go ahead and eat it before they destroy the whole plant like they did with my other ones. Some people actually use it for like a natural mulch. They'll plant it so thick that it'll cover the ground inside their garden bed. And purslane, unlike some other weeds, actually has the ability to improve the quality and the health of the plants around it. It does something to enrich the soil and provide more nutrients to the plants that are growing around it, unlike, like I said, a lot of other weeds. So it's a unique thing that most people don't know and don't understand about purslane. Okay, there's something here I wanted to show you. This is a little flower bed in the front of our house that we really don't do much with. I put some purslane in here a few years ago, and it keeps coming back every year. This is the purslane down in here. I've got a bunch of little tiny ones popping up down there. I hope they end up doing well, but this too is getting really attacked by some kind of bug, those caterpillars, or maybe grasshoppers or something. I've seen a few grasshoppers in here. But anyway, growing along with it, which is very, very common actually, they grow together a lot, is this plant here. This is not purslane. This is called spurge, and spurge is poisonous. It will not kill you, but it will make you very sick. And if you're a beginner and you're looking for purslane for the first time, you're not real familiar with it, I could definitely see how you might see this and think, oh, it looks like purslane. Because it does sort of have the spatula-shaped leaves a little bit. It does get the reddish stems, and they often grow together. However, the leaves, here's an actual purslane. The leaves don't get nearly as thick or succulent. They're very, very paper thin, very flimsy. Well, these have nice, firm, thick leaves. The stems don't get nearly as thick, as you can see. And this is just a much flimsier plant, much more flimsy plant. The other thing I was going to point out is that when you break it open, spurge has that super white milky sap on the inside. It looks just like milk. Whereas I showed you the purslanes was, is translucent, is mostly clear, maybe a tiny bit milky, but it's more slimy, it's thicker, and it's not as pure white as this is. So they do look a little bit similar once you've seen it a few times and you've seen the difference. I mean, it's not going to fool you, I don't think. Also notice that the purslane leaves are very shiny and the spurge leaves are not. They're very dull. Another difference. And one more thing that I was going to point out to you was this one has a seed pod that's popping open. And those are the purslane seeds right there. Little tiny black seeds. Okay, Shaylin has had purslane before, but she hasn't had any yet this year. She's going to try it and tell you what it tastes like.
It tastes like spinach, lemon, and bananas all mixed together.
Really? Well, you know what? I often put it into smoothies,
Yum.
and I do put bananas in there. Not usually lemon, but sometimes berries. So it does go good with the banana and berry taste. One other identification factor I forgot to mention is that they are completely hairless. Neither the leaves nor the stems have hair on them. So if you have a plant that kind of looks like it, but has hair, that's not it. And also the fact that the leaves, they grow opposite. One leaf directly opposite from another, but they alternate as well. So these leaves are facing this way, the next ones are facing that way, the next ones are facing that way. You'll see that down the stem. So, yeah, one other thing as well is that they have just a little bit of a lemony tang to them. Definitely more so as the season goes along. So later in the fall, they definitely taste a little more lemony. And that's because they do have some oxalic acid in them, though not a terrible amount. That's something that I'll talk about more in my wood sorrel video. I do just a little bit in the lamb's quarter video, but wood sorrel is a big one for its oxalic acid, so I'll talk about it there. If that's up, go see it. If it's not, it should be before too long. Well, I hope you get a chance to try Purslane, my favorite by far, and I hope somebody out there will agree and let me know if you do. Thanks for watching.